What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about my top 3 tips on how to better control your emotions in the stock market. Let's dive in. Tip number 1, when in doubt, zoom out. As many of you are probably aware, the stock market is constantly moving up and down. Emotions are constantly going from fearful to optimistic. It's never going in one direction or the other. There's going to be some days when everybody's super optimistic and everybody's pumping up the stock market, and there's going to be other days when everybody is fearful and won't go near stocks thinking they're about to have a big correction. The absolute truth to it all is that nobody knows what's going to happen to stocks in the short term. But if we zoom out on an S&P 500 stock chart, we can see if we go back to like 5, 10, 15, 20 years, that the stock market has recovered after every single stock correction that we've had. That's including after the Great Depression, after World War I, after World War II, after the 2008 financial crisis, and including the recent crash back in March of 2020 when the stock market corrected over 35%. So although short-term uncertainty is not fun to deal with, if you zoom out, take a minute, and look back at history, you'll see that after every single correction and recession, the stock market has always hit new highs sooner or later. Number 2, understand what you are investing in. Now, this is super important, and I've said this so many times on Twitter, on Instagram, and now including YouTube. If you don't understand what you're invested in, when the stock market inevitably goes through a 5, 10, 15, 20, 30% crash, you likely won't have the confidence to continue holding that stock or even buying more, since it would be at a discount, because you would have no clue what you're investing in to begin with. This is why it's so important to spend time to go through, do your research, understand what you're actually investing, what is the company doing. There's a whole entire company behind every single stock and asset, so make sure you understand what they're doing. And if you don't have confidence in what they're doing, you're definitely not going to have confidence when the stock inevitably goes through a correction or a crash. Remember, the stock market is always going through ups and downs, so it's inevitable that every stock is going to have some sort of correction eventually. It's just a matter of when that's going to happen, and obviously that's impossible to know. The short term is unpredictable, which is why it's so important to make sure you understand what you're investing in so you actually have the confidence to continue holding when the stock goes through a crash. Number 3, don't open your portfolio unless you're going back to buy more. Now, I'm sure we're all guilty of this, especially when you're a brand new investor. You go through and open up your portfolio every 10 minutes when the stock market's open. The problem with this is that the more that you look at your stock and the more that you watch the stock price movement, the more likely you are going to be emotionally attached to that stock. I would go as far as saying that 90% of investing is psychological. So if you can't control your emotions and you can't get in the right mindset when things are going through a crazy time, you probably won't be able to tone out the noise when the stock market is going crazy and everybody's panic selling around you. So one of the things that's helped me a lot over the years to better control my emotions, especially back in the recent correction back in March 2020, is to not look back at your portfolio unless you're going back to buy more. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. I know this was a quick video, but I wanted to quickly touch on the 3 tips that have helped me a lot when it comes to controlling my emotions in the stock market. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'd be more than happy to help. Have a great rest of your day.